Well, Hot Wheels collectors and enthusiasts, YouTube viewers, I have finally got my 2002 to 2009 Hot Wheels sorted. Basically every car they own in that range, that year range from 2002 to 2009 is now on the wall. Just pan out here for a second. Is on the wall here. Now, it's pretty much complete. Where you do see empty spots is where perhaps one casting is missing that I don't have. There are a few, but I was accurate in leaving quite a few spots. Also keep in mind that I don't typically collect futuristic type cars, like that goofy one right there, or either one of those ones. So when I do have them, it's a miracle that I fill the hole, because I don't really collect those cars. So the only thing here is from the year 2008 through 2009, I started keeping a lot of the cars I had bought in the packages, simply because I didn't have the room at the time to display them. And hence the collection may get a little bit sparse as you see 2008, 2009. I'll give you a heads up on that. It's not because I'm missing the cars. I've got them, but they're still in the packaging, and they still need to be opened. But it's been a busy couple of weeks for me with job training and whatnot, and I haven't really had time to do anything in this room. So I thought, well, I shouldn't say that. I have had time to sort these cars. That's about all I've had time for. Because before I had an entire table covered with about 500 cars as I was checking the years on them with the TexasDiecastCollectors.com website to see what went where, and that's basically how I figured out, where these holes are in the collection that you're seeing pockets, cars missing. You can see I've put little post-it notes, or whatever they are, little stickers with the dates on them. So if you're scrolling through this video later and you're like, well, what year is that car? Potentially you could figure it out just by watching this video and skipping ahead to where you need to see it. So we're getting into about 2007 here. This is when I started running out of room for opening cars. I had originally said 2008, 2009, but most of the cars from 2007 I opened. There are a few that I did not, which I have every intention of opening later on. 2007 for me was a great year, and it really got me into the enthusiasm of collecting again when they brought out vehicles like the Baja Breaker again. I bought these things at every chance I could get, and I customized a hell of a lot of them and smashed a few of them just because I could, and they were only $1. Other cool castings, although the wheels were a bit ridiculous, were the 1970 Buick Riviera. I actually pulled the chassis off a couple of these, and from the 2005 Realistics first release of these cars, which I had a ton of too, I switched the base on them so that I could have a few with small wheels, which looked a lot more appropriate. But also in 2007 they came out with the red lines again. So this is like, hadn't been seen in years. Even though they're 5-spoke wheels, they were really nice castings. The Nova with the red lines. Simple paint jobs, not too gaudy. Red line castings. My ultimate favorite was the Chevy Custom C10 pickup truck. I must have bought about 50 of those and customized quite a few of them. So as you can see, we're moving down through 2007. Well, I guess that means what I was just talking about was actually 2006. So if you're trying to sort your collection, we were originally in 2006 because I've got my little sticky here saying 2007, so we weren't there yet. 2006 were those red lines. Currently you are looking at 2007, yes, for sure, because that's when the 66 Batmobile was released, was 2007. Of course, it was later released in 2009 with the FTE Faster Than Ever wheels, the exact same paint job. Some magnificent cars were released in 2007 as well as the 2006, including these 66 Ford Galaxies. And also, of course, the 64 Lincoln Continental with suicide doors. And I actually have the very rare... If you don't know and you have one of these with the white SP5 wheels, most commonly you could see the same car with the navy blue paint job and the white Faster Than Ever wheels. But if you do have the SP5 wheels, this car is worth, which I didn't know until I did the research on it, $10 in the package, $5 mint loose. I got quite a few of those. Might have been a Canadian release only car, I'm not really sure, but it is rare, so if you have some of those, don't pass them along to the kids, give them the Faster Than Ever wheels. They roll faster anyways. Mostly a bunch of junk cars there, really. That's 2008 that you were looking at. Is it? No, that was the end of 2007. Never mind. Now we're into 2008. They brought out a cool vehicle in 2008. It was the custom van. I think it was a 70. Custom 77 Dodge van, they called it. Only thing is, it had that transparent roof, same color as the windshield. It would have been really nice if it had been more like the Baja Breaker with a solid roof, but of course Mattel cheaped out. Didn't want to spend the extra quarter-cent on die-cast to complete the roof, so they made it plastic. But it's still a cool van, and actually in my customs I would tape that off and paint the roof body color so it would look complete without... When have you ever seen a van with a full transparent roof? I mean, it's just not realistic. A great release in 2008, among a few, was the return of the Fire Eater. Hadn't been seen since probably the mid-90s. With authentic tampos, you know, red, yellow, nothing crazy, until later on, of course, about 2009, they came with a bunch of stupid colors like fluorescent green and whatnot. Not a big fan of that stuff, but you'll also notice that 2008 was pretty much about the last year of the all die-cast chassis and body. This is when Hot Wheels officially basically cheaped out on the full die-cast vehicle that you would have been used to if you're about my age or slightly older or older at all. But 2008, they still, you know, they had about 75% of their castings were like a metal body with a plastic bottom, chrome bottom. You know, something like this. Plastic bottom, metal top. But at that time, they still had at least a few cars in the lineup that had this all metal bottom with the metal top, and they were nice heavy little additions to the lineup. pretty much not found in 2009. This was the end of an era for Hot Wheels, as all vehicles were released now with plastic bottoms and or plastic tops, metal bottoms. The only exception would be vehicles that were so small where die-cast was, the cost of die-cast is not an issue, such as the little Mayor's Mannix, whatever the hell it's called. I think that's probably the only vehicle from 2008 that actually is die-cast all the way around. But really, it's not even, it's not a lot of die-cast metal in that car. Moving into 2009, this brought, the end of the era for the metal chassis cars, but the beginning of an era for authentic cars released originally like 1970s cars, such as the Chevy wagon, an absolute dream to modify, customize, or just stick in the vise and watch it flatten out. There's a lot of metal on this car, even though it's a plastic base. For $1, which you could get them back for at that time, it was a deal. Other cars such as the Javelin, AMC Javelin, just brilliant that they even brought that out. This was a nice addition to the 2009 lineup, the 69 Camaro with a hardtop. Originally brought out in the convertible form back in 2008. Convertibles are cool, but you get that little bit extra die-cast with the hardtop, plus it's a lot more common if you're actually looking on the road to see a car. So you notice that my collection is kind of sparse now. It's because for years now I've bought all the cars in 2009 pretty much, except for the goofy futuristic ones, but I simply don't have the room on the wall, and I never bothered to open them out of the package. So as it sits, most of those cars were in a setup such as this, and are in boxes right now, in need of being opened. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be more to come.